The eastern realm of the 9 immortal realms was a land of vibrant beauty, where cherry blossoms danced in the wind and the air shimmered with the faint glow of spiritual energy. Towering pagodas dotted the landscape, their golden roofs gleaming under the sun, while cultivators from countless sects gathered to witness a rising star, Su Mei, the Phoenix Reborn. At only 100 years old, she had already reached the peak of the true immortal realm, her cultivation fueled by a rare phoenix bloodline that granted her mastery over flames and an aura of rebirth. Her beauty was said to rival the moon, her grace a melody that soothed even the fiercest of beasts. To the masses, she was a beacon of hope, a heroine destined to lead the Eastern realm to new heights. But it looks like fate wanted something else, or at least Xiao Wuchen. He stood atop a cliff overlooking the Eastern realm's capital, his silver robes billowing in the wind. The sea of eternal stars lay far behind him, its celestial glow replaced by the vibrant hues of the mortal world below. His ink-black hair flowed like a river of night, and his jade-like features were serene, almost divine. To any onlooker, he was the Peerless Jade Sovereign, a savior come to bless the land. But his eyes, those cold, piercing eyes, held a glint of predatory amusement. Feng Liu stood beside him, her crimson robes a stark contrast to his silver. She twirled a strand of her raven hair around her finger, her lips curled into a playful smirk. "She's quite the spectacle, isn't she?" she said, her voice dripping with mockery. "The Phoenix Reborn, they call her. I hear she burned down an entire demon nest last month. The people are already composing songs about her valor." Xiao Wuchen's smile was faint, but it carried a chilling edge. "A demon nest she orchestrated herself," he replied, his tone smooth as silk. "She lured those creatures into the mortal lands, let them wreak havoc, then swooped in to save the day, all for some decent resources and treasures." "Pathetic." Feng Liu laughed, the sound like tinkling bells laced with venom. "You've done your research, husband, but are you sure her luck is worth the effort? She's not as radiant as Liang Tian was." "Luck is luck," Xiao Wuchen said, his gaze fixed on the distant city where Su Mei was holding court. "And hers burns bright enough to be useful. Besides," he turned to Feng Liu, his smile widening, "I enjoy breaking their wings." Feng Liu's eyes sparkled with delight. She stepped closer, her hand brushing against his arm. "Then let's make it a game," she purred. "I'll infiltrate her little circle, play the admiring disciple. You can watch from the shadows and strike when the moment is right. It'll be entertaining." Xiao Wuchen nodded, his expression unreadable. "Do as you wish, Liu, but don't let her suspect anything. I want her to feel the weight of her fall." In the heart of the Eastern Realm's capital, Su Mei held court in the Hall of Blazing Dawn, a grand pavilion adorned with phoenix motifs and bathed in the glow of enchanted flames. Cultivators from across the realm had gathered to pay their respects, their voices a chorus of praise. Su Mei sat on a throne of crimson jade, her fiery red robes shimmering with golden embroidery. Her long auburn hair cascaded like a waterfall of flame, and her eyes glowed with the intensity of a true phoenix. She smiled benevolently as sect leaders offered her treasures, and disciples begged to join her newly formed Phoenix Flame sect. Among the crowd, a new figure emerged, a woman in crimson robes, her beauty rivaling even Su Mei's. This was Feng Liu in disguise. She stepped forward, her movements graceful, and her expression one of awe. "I am Feng Li, a wandering cultivator," she said, bowing deeply. "I have heard of the Lady Su Mei's greatness and wish to serve under her banner. My cultivation is humble, but my loyalty is unwavering." Su Mei's smile widened, though a flicker of suspicion passed through her eyes. "A wandering cultivator with such elegance. You intrigue me, Feng Li. Tell me, what do you seek by joining my sect?" "Only to bask in your light, Lady Su," Feng Liu replied, her voice soft and reverent. "Your deeds inspire the weak, and I wish to learn from your wisdom." The crowd murmured in approval, and Su Mei's suspicion melted into satisfaction. "Very well," she said, gesturing for Feng Liu to rise. "You may join my sect as an inner disciple. Serve me well, and you shall rise in my favor." Feng Liu bowed again, her lips twitching into a hidden smirk. Unknown to Su Mei, had she come here with her real identity as the only daughter of the Feng family's heads, the sword god Feng Wuxian and the celestial goddess Yue Shenhua. The whole Eastern realm would have kneeled just to welcome her, let alone the capital and Su Mei. Over the next few days, Feng Liyue played her role to perfection. She flattered Su Mei, followed her orders, and even helped her fend off a minor beast-tide, another staged event to bolster Su Mei's reputation. But behind the scenes, Feng Liyue observed, she noticed the way Su Mei hoarded the sect's resources, siphoning spirit stones meant for her disciples into her own cultivation. She saw the secret meetings with rogue cultivators, where Su Mei traded forbidden artifacts for power, and she uncovered the most damning truth of all. Su Mei's phoenix bloodline was a lie. She had stolen it from a dying phoenix maiden, a young girl from a remote village, whom Su Mei had left to perish after extracting her essence. Feng Liyue relayed all of this to Xiao Wuchen through a jade slip, her voice laced with amusement. "She's worse than I expected," she said. "A thief, a liar, and a murderer. Her luck may be golden, but her heart is blacker than the nether abyss." Xiao Wuchen stood in the shadows of a bamboo forest just outside the capital, his presence and aura cloaked by a supreme void array. He crushed the jade slip in his hand, his smile cold and predatory. "Perfect," he murmured. "It's time to end her charade." That night, Su Mei held a grand banquet to celebrate her sect's growing influence. The Hall of Blazing Dawn was filled with laughter and music, the air thick with the scent of spiritual wine. Su Mei sat at the head of the table, her laughter bright and her demeanor regal. Feng Liyue sat at her side, her expression one of quiet admiration, though her crimson eyes gleamed with hidden amusement. The stage was set, the pieces in place. Xiao Wuchen's plan had been unfolding for days, a web of deception so intricate that Su Mei had no idea she was already ensnared. Unbeknownst to Su Mei, Xiao Wuchen had been orchestrating her downfall long before he stepped foot in the Eastern realm. Through Feng Liyue's infiltration, he had planted seeds of doubt among Su Mei's closest allies. Using her blood Dao techniques, Feng Liyue subtly manipulated the minds of Su Mei's inner circle, sowing whispers of betrayal and greed. She had forged false evidence letters, artifacts, and even a blood-sealed confession that implicated Su Mei's most trusted elder, Zhao Feng, in a plot to overthrow her. The evidence was slipped into the hands of Su Mei's second-in-command, an ambitious young cultivator named Lin Hao, who already harbored jealousy toward Zhao Feng. The night before the banquet, Lin Hao confronted Zhao Feng, his suspicions fueled by the forged evidence. A heated argument erupted, and in a fit of rage, Lin Hao struck Zhao Feng down, believing he was protecting Su Mei and securing his own position. The confrontation had been staged in front of several key disciples who witnessed the murder and began to question Su Mei's leadership. How could such chaos fester under the sect leader Su Mei's watch? Rumors spread like wildfire, fracturing the unity of the Phoenix Flame sect. As the banquet reached its peak, a ripple of dark, celestial qi spread through the Eastern realm, a presence so vast and profound that it shook the very foundations of the land. The air trembled, the stars above dimming as if bowing to a greater power. The guests in the Hall of Blazing Dawn froze, their laughter dying in their throats. Su Mei stood, her flames activated on instinct, and her senses became sharper enough to feel the weight of the aura. Her eyes widened, a mix of awe and unease flickering across her face. Before anyone could speak, a series of spatial rifts tore open outside the hall, and three ancient figures emerged, their presence radiating the power of the Immortal Emperor realm. They were the ancestors of Su Mei's lineage, Elder Huo Tian, the founder of the Phoenix Flame sect, a towering man with fiery red hair and a beard that seemed to flicker with embers. Matriarch Su Yueling, Su Mei's great-grandmother, is a regal woman whose phoenix wings shimmered with golden light, and Patriarch Su Longwei, the eldest of the Su clan, a stooped figure whose eyes burned with the wisdom of 1,000,000 years. Their arrival sent the crowd into a frenzy of whispers. Ancestors of such caliber rarely appeared in the mortal world, their cultivation so advanced that they resided in secluded realms to pursue the Tao. The three ancestors strode into the hall, their expressions a mix of reverence and excitement. Everyone present there immediately knelt and gave their greetings. Su Mei was confused like others. Uncle Tian, Grandma, Grandpa, did something happen? She asked. None of them replied to her question, which made her feel a bit embarrassed in front of her clan members. But they couldn't help it. The three had sensed Xiao Wuchen's aura from their secluded realms and rushed to the Eastern Realm to pay their respects to the young master of the Xiao Clan, a figure whose name echoed even in the highest echelons of the cultivation world. They bowed deeply, their voices resonating with power as they spoke in unison. Lord Xiao Wuchen, the Peerless Jade Sovereign, the only son of God, Void Sovereign and Moonlit Seraph, graces the Eastern Realm with his presence. Elder Huo Tian's voice boomed, his fiery aura flaring with respect. The Phoenix Flame sect is honored beyond words. We, the ancestors of the Su clan, offer our deepest respects, Matriarch Su Yueling added, her golden wings folding in deference. Your arrival is a blessing to our lineage. Patriarch Su Longwei's eyes gleamed with anticipation. We have long admired your legend, Lord Xiao. To witness your brilliance in person is a rare privilege. Su Mei's unease converted into confusion. It was obvious, though, that the three ancestors of Su clan, whom many worshipped in the Eastern Realm, rushed here out of their seclusion just to meet some young man. She approached Su Yueling and whispered in her ears, "Great-grandmother, what is happening? Why the three of you are bowing to a young man?" Others of the same generation also wanted to know the reason, and the ancestors were also not angered. They knew these young people didn't know about the absolute powers. The two ancestors nodded to Su Yueling, asking her to explain the situation to the younger generation. Su Yueling also agreed to it, since Xiao Wuchen was still at a significant distance from the Phoenix Flame sect. You know the existence of many realms other than Eastern Realm, right? Su Yueling said. The one who is visiting the Eastern Realm has come from the Upper Realm. This fired everyone's curiosity as they continued to listen to her. Although everyone in the Upper Realm is considered stronger than same-generation cultivator from our Eastern Realm, the one who made us come here is none other than the young master of the strongest clan of Upper Realm, the Xiao Clan. Even among the top sects of Upper Realm, no one has ever seen a Xiao Clan's ancestor descending in the Immortal Realm. Su Mei and all the other people were in disbelief, since Mu Yueling's words made it clear that Xiao Clan's ancestors were beyond immortals. God Void Sovereign, Xiao Tianshuan, the Patriarch of the Xiao Clan and Xiao Wuchen's father, had already ascended to the godly realm myriads years ago, and his mother, Lin Yushin, was the princess of Divine Moon Palace of the godly realm. As she concludes her explanation, everyone had a very different reaction. Some were very excited to meet such a person, and others were scared of accidentally offending them. Su Mei was also the same. She was looking forward to meeting Xiao Wuchen, but at the same time, she was scared, as if she was going to meet a real god.